We're live. It is Sunday morning. The Rich Lieberman Media Pulse is live here on YouTube. If you are watching at a later time, congrats and welcome to the show. I often get ripped. Story of my life. Oh, you complain, you bitch and moan about everything. What would you do? What would you do? You don't offer any kind of alternative. No, that's not right. Completely wrongo. I have every time, for the most part, and a frequent target, yes, is KCBS. I care about certain legacy stations that used to be the forefront of Bay Area radio, like a KGO, like an old KCBS, which then had real responsible people and people had credibility. One of the programs that I loved was a Sunday staple. Real great program. The fact that it was local was irrelevant, but I'll tell you why that's important in a second. But In Depth, there was a Sunday radio show, and they still have it, only in name only. And they've now completely fucked it up, screwed it up, whatever you want to term it. KCBS used to be a Sunday show, and it was largely a one-on-one. Great hosts, and they went to different hosts. But mainly what they did is it was newsworthy, it was timely. And frequently they'd have on a guest having to do with politics. Could have been a mayor, could have been a congressperson, senator, somebody in charge of the fire department. Remember many, many years they had on a lot of the San Francisco police chiefs. And it was interesting. Why? Because it was timely, because it was there. Usually they would tape it on a Thursday at KCBS, and they would air it Sunday morning at around 6:30 and re-air it. I remember right before the radio simulcast of Face the Nation. And it was a program really worthy of appointment. Have your coffee, read the Sunday paper, and of course, listen to In Depth. And many a times they'd have on the mayor of San Francisco, they'd have the mayor of Oakland, Berkeley, San Jose, but the fundamental theme of the program was its timeliness. It was usually straight one-on-one. They didn't have wind chimes. They didn't make it sound like some kind of NPR deal. And that's not a knock on NPR. It's just the fact of the matter is they made it worthwhile. And now it's crap. They usually have some boring, mundane topic that, quite frankly, sometimes very important. But the way KCBS runs it now is they make it very mundane and very boring. And they have turned it into basically an NPR type of a deal with the wind chimes, with the obviously it's taped, and it has very, very little to do with what's taking place. And as somebody, and like most of you are, political junkies, but even if you're not, at least you would listen to a decent interview. At least they had people that were worthy of listening to do a one-on-one, to talk and try to perhaps, God forbid, cross-examine the mayor, whomever that was. And now it's just repetitive, boring, minuscule minutia. That's a lot of M's, but you get my point. I have never, ever in my life heard such gobbledygook as I heard with what is taking place, what has absolutely murdered In Depth. In depth at what? At making people fall asleep. And that's what it happens. And that's what has happened. It's transpired into a just a lousy program. And look, I want to say something that's very important. I don't know who Mary Hughes is. She could be the most incredible anchor, reporter, what have you, person. She's not ready for prime time. Maybe on KCBS, she's fine. They love her because she's so lousy. And I want to say this over and over and over, it bears repeating. Don't care about a person's age, don't care about a person's gender, don't care about a person's race, black, white, gay, straight, yellow, brown, Jewish, Catholic. If you're good, you're good. If you suck, if you're lousy, you suck and you're lousy. What they've done now, and it's not just in depth, but that's since we're talking about in depth, that's Mary Hughes. I don't know where they got her from, but she's terrible. She'd be perfect for KPOO or KALW or some NPR outlet. For San Francisco, which I thought was a big market outlet. San Francisco is the number 5 market, number 4 for radio. And they have this deal with Mary Hughes, and I have no clue. I have no idea why. But then again, it's KCBS. And the people who run KCBS have become irrelevant. They don't know how to run a real radio station. They've managed to screw up KCBS. And yes, first and foremost, on Sunday morning, they've absolutely screwed up In Depth, a program that used to be incredible appointment radio on a Sunday and is now